In this video, we're going to fire up the third generation Apple TV for the very first time. So let's get to it. So right now I have the Apple TV hooked up to my LG HDTV through HDMI, but I don't have the Apple TV plugged in yet. So I'm going to plug in the Apple TV and we're going to see if it fires up straight out of the gate. So let me plug it in. There we go, we get the Apple logo.
Welcome to Apple TV. If you require voiceover to use Apple TV, press the small button located on the lower right of your remote 3 times.
Okay, I won't need that. But as you can see here, it says, welcome to Apple TV, select your language to continue. So I'm going to use this very small remote and hit the OK button. Okay, I had to put an edit in there because I had to sign into my home wireless network. But now I'm signed in and it says you can help Apple improve its products and user support by having your Apple TV automatically send Apple information from time to time about how it's working and how you use it. To learn more about Apple's privacy policy, see apple.com/privacy. I generally default to saying yes to these things, so I'm going to hit OK. And here's the interface here. So up top, you have the top movies: Expendables 2, Brave, For a Good Time Call, The Watch, Amazing Spider-Man. And below that, you see the different categories. So top movies, I'm in movies. Let's go to TV shows. It switches to the top TV shows. And then music, it says iTunes Match. To access your music library in iCloud, subscribe to iTunes Match using iTunes on your computer. Well, I don't use iCloud, but if you do use iCloud, you can stream it down to this box here. And the next selection here is computers, home sharing. Home sharing lets you stream your movies, TV shows, music, and more from iTunes libraries in your home. I do have a computer with an iTunes library on it, so I'll probably be using this function at least to try it out. The next selection here is settings. And then below that you have your channels. So let's start from the left. You have Netflix, Hulu Plus, MLB TV, NBA, NHL. You have radio, podcasts, Vimeo, YouTube, trailers, PhotoStream, Flickr, and Wall Street Journal Live. So as you might tell, this device is mostly for those of you who live in the Apple universe, who have all your content in iTunes. Because as you can see over here, you can rent or purchase your movies through iTunes and watch it on this device. The same is true for your TV shows. And of course your music you would be purchasing off of iTunes generally. So this is one thing where you might actually be able to get content on this device that wasn't purchased through iTunes. Because you can buy an MP3 from Amazon.com and then put it on iTunes. And then if you have iCloud, you can sync that to your iCloud and then down to your different devices. This will be one feature I will not be able to review on this device because I don't use iCloud. So let's just dive into the settings here and see what we have available. You have your general settings, which tell you about your Apple TV. The name of it is Apple TV, your network, your parental controls, your remotes. Right now I'm using the aluminum remote that comes with it. And it feels like I'm doing a presentation because it's a very small remote. But you don't have to just use this apparently. You have a remote app, which is probably on your iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch. And then Learn Remote. To control Apple TV with another remote, you need a remote that can control multiple devices or an unused single device remote. So if you don't like the remote that comes with this device, at least you're not stuck with it. I'm not quite sure how I back out of this. Probably by hitting the menu button again. Okay, there we go. Update software. Time zone. It's a little bit egocentric to have Cupertino as the time zone. Should have asked me what time zone I'm in. So I will change that. And let's see, it says set automatically. Let's see if it's able to do that. Let's back out of this. Sleep after 1 hour, that seems very reasonable. Send data to Apple, yeah, I said I'd do that for now. Language, obviously it's in English. Accessibility, I don't really need accessibility on this device. Troubleshooting, legal, and then a factory reset and restart. So let's back out of this. Let's see what we have available for screensavers. Show after 5 minutes, show during music. Photos National Geographic, that sounds good to me. Let's preview it and see what it looks like. All right. Nothing. Okay, here we go. So this is what the screensaver looks like. And it's a variety of photos from National Geographic. Let's back out of that. And you can control it. You could do random, flip up, floating is what you just saw there. Holiday mobile or mobile, origami, photo mobile, photo wall, reflections, scrapbook, shifting tiles, snapshots, Ken Burns, and then classic. Let's just see what origami looks like real quick here. Okay. Pretty cool. Let's back out of this. And we have the iTunes Store here. Gives you all your settings for the content you get from the iTunes Store. Video and audio. So here are your settings if you want to repeat the music, sound checks, sound effects, show playlists, Dolby Digital. It's on auto, which is good. Audio output, which is auto, which is good because it should be going out over HDMI. Audio language, subtitle language, closed captioning, HDMI output, and TV resolution all set on auto. Everything seems to be working very nicely on this. Next is AirPlay. Now this is one thing that I'm going to be very interested in. I do have an iPad, a 3rd generation iPad, and I will be using AirPlay with it because that's one of the big features of this device. If you're not really in the iTunes ecosystem like myself, I buy all of my MP3s from Amazon.com. And if I do buy television shows, it's also from Amazon.com. But I do have some content on iTunes, and I have, several years ago, I organized all my music through iTunes, and that's not something that you do on a regular basis since I have about 6,000, 7,000 songs. So pretty much everything's still there on iTunes, so I can use a lot of that stuff through there. But if you're not the type of person that actively rents or purchases videos or television shows, movies, whatnot, through iTunes, then this device isn't going to be as useful to you as somebody who is really deep in the Apple ecosystem. Because the channels that are offered on this device are mostly duplicated on a Roku device. And you can get a Roku device for half the price you can get an Apple TV. One thing to note though, the very inexpensive Roku, the $49.99 LT version, is 720p only, whereas the Apple TV is 1080p. So if that matters for you, then you would probably want to get the $79 Roku, which does full 1080p. But again, if you're an Apple person and you're in the Apple ecosystem, then this would be a great device for you. So let's click on AirPlay here, and let's just see. It says AirPlay and set password. You also have the option down here for computers. I will be setting up sharing between my PC build, which has my iTunes library on it, and this Apple TV device. Let's get out of here, and then you can just put the device to sleep right there. Which is what you would want to do because there is no power button on the device, there's no power button on the remote. So it's basically just sleep or not sleep. So let's just dive in here and just see what movies are available. I would imagine it's a good selection because iTunes does have a good selection of content. So you have your top movies here at the time of filming this. And up top there you have cover flow where you can go through the ones that are being highlighted. If I go down a little bit further, we probably can scroll through them here as well. So there's a lot of content available, and let's just see what something like Prometheus is going for. So Prometheus, you can rent it for $5.99 in HD. You can buy it for $14.99 in HD. You see a small synopsis of the story there. You get the details, running time, whatnot, the actors, and of course the director. So let's back out of this. And below top movies you have new and noteworthy. And then you have blockbusters of 2012. So you have different filters for all these different movies here. And discounted recent releases. So let's see what a discounted recent release goes for. Okay, you can rent it for $3.99 in HD or buy it for $11.99 in HD. So let's back out of that. Barbie movies, not really my thing. And then free on iTunes. So let's see what we've got here. 10-minute free preview of Price Check. So it's not necessarily free content. It's just trying to get you to buy some stuff here. Let's see if this is free. Universal Soldier. No, this is only a 4-minute clip. So let's back out of this and go into TV shows. Now I noticed something up top here. It says purchased, top TV shows. You can filter it with networks, which is nice. You can filter it via the genre, and you get the nice cover flow going on there. And then you have the Genius. I'm familiar with Genius for iTunes Music. I'm not for television shows. And then you have your search option here. And that's what your keyboard looks like. These streaming media boxes are always difficult to use the on-screen keyboard, so in a case like this I'd probably use an app on the iPad. So let's go over to top TV shows, and you get the menu here. And they're actually rated or ranked 1 through whatever. 1 through 50. And then the next slot down. Okay, that's continuing the numbering of it. And we go down here, latest TV episodes. Let's see what one of the top TV shows are going for. I think it's $1.99. Let's see. If you want to buy the season, $29.99. If you want to get one episode, it's $2.99 for HD. I think that's pretty much the going rate because it's $2.99 on Amazon as well. On Amazon, though, they sell you the SD version as well for $1.99. So let's back out of this. And let's just go back to movies here for a second and see what the filters are on top. Purchased, top movies, genres, Genius, and search. Okay. All right, well, the last thing we're going to look at here, well, actually, let's look at trailers real quick. So this is always one of my favorite things to do is look at trailers. I'm the type of person who goes to a movie and wants to get there early so you get to see all the trailers. And so this is always something. When I was a Mac user, there was a thing called Front Row. And this looks a lot like Front Row. You got a small remote like this, and if you had a Mac computer, you could control Front Row basically through it, and you could get all different movie trailers and whatnot. So it's very reminiscent of that for me, and for those of you probably who are familiar with it as well. Let's see what the YouTube experience is here, and it looks like you have featured, most viewed, most recent, top rated, history, and search. Let me search for one of my videos here. Alright, and it brings up a lot of my older videos. Here's Roku versus Roku 2. Let's bring that up real quick and see what we've got here. It's my old theme music. So very nice, decent interface for YouTube on here. And it'd probably be a lot better user experience using an app, again, on an iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch. In my case, I'll be using my iPad. So let's just back out of this. And let's see what else. Now, I don't use Hulu Plus. I do use Hulu on my home theater PC that is actually attached to this television set here. MLB TV, really not my thing. Same with NBA. We could dive into those real quick if you want to take a look. You probably have to sign into it. You have today's games, standings, game recaps, team by team, MLB.com on iTunes, subscribe to MLB.tv, and settings. So, since I'm not a subscriber, I'm sure they're going to stop me at some point, so let's just see what we've got here. This is something I definitely don't want to put on YouTube because they'll sue you at the drop of a hat. So, can't really see it because my camera's not focusing on it right now, but it says today's date, game 1, and nothing's going on. So I assume you have to sign in to your account, which I don't have, and then it will allow you to watch things. So you have NBA here, and probably, yeah, it looks like everything's going to be the same user interface, which is a typical Apple user interface, which again started with Front Row on Macintosh computers. So you have the NHL here. Let's just go through all these real quick. Same thing here. And then we went through trailers and YouTube. Let's check out Vimeo here. And Vimeo, you're probably familiar, very similar type of website that YouTube is, so you can search for different videos over there. I do not have a channel on Vimeo because I choose to stick with YouTube. You have podcasts on here. Now, I do download podcasts through iTunes, but I do it on my computer and I sync it to an old iPad or iPod that I have. But you can search top podcasts, your genres, your providers, and then search here. We'll delve into this at a later time. Again, this is more of an overview in this video. You have radio here, and this allows you to listen to internet radio stations. Again, something that you're probably familiar with if you use iTunes. And let's see what we got here. Photo stream. I'm sure that, yeah, it's your account. So that would be your photos that are synced, I believe, with iCloud, and you can play them here. And of course you have Flickr, which I do not have a Flickr account, but you can view your Flickr photos here. And then Wall Street Journal Live. Let's take a look at what that's all about. Let's see what election. Okay. So it has, probably, I'm assuming these are either articles. Okay, they're actually videos that you can play. And apparently it's free, so that's nice. Nice to know. Okay. The last two things on here are Hulu Plus and Netflix. We'll end with Netflix. We'll go with Hulu Plus. Like I said, I'm a Hulu user, not a Hulu Plus subscriber. So it's not going to allow me to, go through here. It will give me the 1-week trial. Let me click on that and see if it's going to ask me to sign into anything. Okay, it wants my Apple ID. I'm not going to sign into that because then I'm going to have to cancel it after a week, and I'm not really interested in doing that. So let's back out of this and let's go into Netflix. Alright, start your 1-month free trial here or sign in if you're already a member. I'm already a member, so let's sign in. Okay, so this is the Netflix interface on this device. And it's much different than what you're used to if you know Netflix on any other streaming media player. So it's the cover flow that you're used to on this device, but it's much different than the regular Netflix. Even Netflix, the logo, is not even in red, which is interesting. So you have suggestions for you, recently watched, genres, TV shows, and let's see if it populates here. New releases, let's go back to genres here. Okay. TV shows, new releases, just for kids. And then you have instant queue, search, and sign out. So let's see what the search is. Probably, again, your search box here, just as you'd expect. So let's back out of this. So that is the third generation Apple TV. So that pretty much does it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. If you like what you see, please subscribe. And as always, if you want to help out my channel, give me a thumbs up or favorite this video. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.